Okay, so social networks. Most people would lump every single one of these platforms into a social network. However, when we look at all the platforms, they each have their own purpose. And as I have it here, a social network is an online community connecting online users in many different ways. And so it's kind of, this big hub where people usually connect with people they know or have some type of like-minded interest in. And so it's more of a community feel instead of just a regular feed of images. And it's more, again, of like a social hub in a way. Sites that you guys would be familiar with that are considered social networks would be Facebook, Google Plus, which is starting to diminish, MySpace, which we know, was leader at one time, and then it started to diminish as well, and it was becoming revamped by Justin Timberlake, and then we really didn't see it go anywhere. But social networks are all over. People even have internal such social networks. Full Sail has one with Full Sail Connect, and it is a way for people at Full Sail to communicate with each other, for course directors and faculty to communicate with each other, for them to communicate with students and students to communicate with each other, as well as other people within the community. You'll also see different bands or musical artists have their own social networks, or sports teams have their own social networks, where people, again, with that like-minded interest can come and have a main hub where they exchange ideas and comments and have a profile and have a little bit more about themselves and their interests. So some of the things that you want to keep in mind when using a social network is that first, you want to be yourself and real and transparent. You shouldn't have a fake wall. It's not a one-sided website. It's meant for two-way communication. And so you want to make sure that you are communicating properly. Also, you want to make sure that you are utilizing the space provided to you. If you have a space for a cover image, you should be using it to get your message across, to push your campaign, to show, who your brand is. And it should be changing nonstop and not just be stagnant. And it should be updated just like you would a billboard or an ad, and keep it current. You usually have a profile image as well that represents your brand. And remember, every time you comment, this image or post something is going to be seen. So it should be representative of your brand. Another thing you want to have is a precise description. This is not a website. You want to drive traffic to your blog or website. So you would have something, more precise, explaining exactly who you are. So if somebody comes there, they know who you are on your page. You also want to cross-promote your platforms. You want to make sure that you don't just have your blog, but you list your other social media platforms so that people can find you and they can find your brand on social media sites and know that they are your official pages. And some sites like Twitter, for example, you can't make your site official. They have to make it official for you. And so seeing it on other platforms and them knowing that, okay, this is your official page, it's beneficial to find it as many places as you can. Remember, you don't want to put your eggs all in one basket, so you want to be promoting your other platforms. You can also make sure, and go into like the more area or go into the different apps and install apps, and so that you have buttons for the social platforms, or you have little gadgets or widgets built into your Facebook page that promote your other social platforms as well visually. And you can also, do promotions on your Facebook page and implement different techniques depending on the changes that are happening on the social sites. And you want to keep up to date because they're going to change every 30 to 90 days. And so you want to make sure that your brand is always staying on top of everything, and that, your visuals reflect the new platform dimensions. Post frequency and time. So you want to make sure that you're posting for the platform. And so you should know the platform before you start posting and know the etiquette. Remember, Facebook is for people usually that, know the people that they're talking to. It's not for them to try to get to know other people unless they're using it for pages and they're reaching out to brands or entering contests. And so you don't want to abuse permissions. You want to post 2 to 3 times a day maybe, and unless you have an event going on, not on weekends. Now, if it's a sporting event and you're giving them up-to-date information like every quarter, that's fine, or before the game, but you want to make sure it's relevant and that you're just not putting the same post out over and over again, and that you have a strategy and a plan. Um, you know, posting at between 1 and 4 p.m., especially on Wednesdays, is, a day that you'll see a lot of interaction. Although Tuesdays have the highest campaign engagement rate, and Fridays are the day that most campaigns are launched. Posts that have photos in them usually see a 200% higher engagement rate. So you want to make sure that you're including interesting photos that are native to Facebook and that you're sharing them. You also can include video or live video in your post, and we're starting to see the engagement level increase with the use of these medias. Facebook has analytics also built into them. They are called Facebook Insights, and you get them when you have a page, a complete page. It used to be that you had to have 30 page likes, and they just switched it over. So that is not necessarily the case. But you have to have a complete profile so that they don't look at you as being a spammer. Another thing you want to do is customize your URL so you don't have a string of code afterwards, and it should be consistent with your brand name. And this is what you guys are going to be doing in just a second. You looked up and made sure all your usernames were available on Noam. And now you're going to go and sign up for your page, your Facebook fan page. You want to make sure it's a fan page, and you're doing it for your brand. So in order to do that, I want you guys to go ahead and go to facebook.com/pages. And again, you're going to sign up for a fan page. I'll show you exactly where the page is in 1 second. But where it says brand or product, most of you, depending on your brand, will come down here to website. However, if you have something else that is more fitting, go ahead and use it. Right here, you'll paste in that 1-sentence description from your brand overview page. Here, you're going to add in your website, which will be your blog URL. Right here is where you customize your URL for your Facebook page. So it's going to be that URL username that you came up with in Noam that has no spaces. And make sure that you don't put spaces before or after as well, because you will get an error. And then when it says, is this product real, business, or product or brand, you're going to put yes. And then you're going to hit Save Info. So I'm going to come over here to Facebook fan pages, and this is what it will look like. You click on brand or service, click your category as website, put in your name, and click Get Started. And then you're going to follow the prompts and make sure you save it. You can always go back and update it afterwards, but you want to make sure that you at least reserve the name. Go ahead and get started right now.